Hi there. So, I wanted to just do a little collective reading today to look into the energy because we just moved into the pre shadow to Mercury retrograde. We have an eclipse coming up, and then we're moving into Mercury retrograde, and we have a solar eclipse. And there's a lot of major conjunctions. Currently, we went through some, or have some coming up in April. So there's a lot of energy all around us right now, and there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff coming up from like the last few years. It's all kind of coming up, culminating, coming to the surface. Things are being very revealed. So, with the bottom of the deck, there could be a lot of like back and forth as far as not knowing where to go, wanting to make a leap and follow your dreams, having a lot of self doubt, like having that inner voice, that negative inner voice come up and convince us that we're not good enough, or that we need to like change courses, or that we should give up. And you may need to change course and switch things up, but it doesn't mean that you should give up or that you're not good enough, or a lot of like really harsh, painful, like insecurities and things like that could be coming up and kind of blocking us from realizing how powerful we are and how many tools we have to help us navigate through this. So there could be some form of support coming in, or you could have the opportunity to connect with other people who have the same fire and passion as you. It's just finding a way to like work through this energy that's all around us and remain really confident, and remembering that we have the capacity and the tools to get us where we want to go, achieve anything that we would like. Like nothing is out of touch. I feel as though there's just like a lot of major shifts happening just like everywhere, and it's impacting, it kind of trickles down and impacts our lives in individual ways. And right now is all about how to navigate through those changes while still remaining solid within us, still staying true to our path and what's important to us and what we want in our lives, and going in the direction that we've been working towards and building towards, while also being open and flexible to certain changes and adjustments. So that's kind of the energy I'm getting right now. My cat, my female cat, is in a really extra um, spicy mood this morning. So I may have to navigate that throughout the reading, but she's she's pretty great. So yeah, so in this deck, um, all of the kings also are represented by, they have like 8 kings. So there's 4 male kings and 4 female kings. And I always, for me personally, just like the way that I read, or the way that I have been reading this deck, or that, yeah, it's um, the female kings are always kind of represented by like a female energy that's in a, or like a female person that's in a very masculine energy, or a very masculine person, or a male person that's in a very female energy, if that makes sense. So it's like someone operating out of like what is not their dominant energy. Um, so that could be you. Like you could be someone who is like more feminine, but you've had been forced to like step into this like masculine part of yourself and be like really hardworking or dominant. Or there could be like an influence around you that has been in that energy that you've been like looking up to. Like I'm seeing like someone around you that you relied upon as like a form of support, that you may like look up to or had a lot of respect for, but it's like you're just now realizing they're not actually in their own energy. So now you're seeing them in a different light. Like they don't actually embody the energy that you had thought. It's like they actually have this very, you could have been looking towards them for like emotional stability or strength or something to kind of rely upon. And then you're seeing they're actually in this very like feminine, fluid energy. Some you could have like been wanting to kind of rely upon their emotional support or expecting someone to be kind of like a steady in your life, and then you're now seeing they are actually more driven by their emotions, like they're very swayed, or like they'll kind of change their direction easily based off of their emotional state, like wherever they um, feel called or drawn. Like with this staff here, um, I'm seeing like the energy kind of coming out and going here, so then they're just being like swayed to go over here. So they have this very like, this person has this very strong demeanor. They seem very serious or very like in control of their emotions, but they're very like, all of these shiny glittery things do kind of lead their way, so they're not driven by the same things that you had thought, so they're not embodying the same like stable energy that you had thought. So on the bottom of the deck we have our male King of Wands. So with this person, there's more of like an openness and a softness. Like they don't feel the need to present in this kind of like stoic, cold or like serious energy. Is someone who is more like open about their passions or not afraid to be open and share their feelings. Someone who's led and driven by their passions, but not in a way that they're being swayed by the outside. It's more of like the driving force within themselves, kind of carrying them, walking to the beat of your own drum, kind of like leading the pack. Like in war back in the day, they had like the drummer, and that person would like walk ahead of the soldiers and kind of like lead the way or like set the beat or the tone. Um, Giving everybody like that energy or that vibe, to be able to move forward and do what they need to do. So I'm just seeing like a true leader, like a trendsetter. Um, so this could have been the type of person that you wanted in your life, or that you wanted to move towards, or you wanted to have this energy in your life for yourself, and you were trying to figure out how to get to that place or get where you would like to be. So a big thing kind of blocking you could have been this sense of self-doubt. But a lot of the energy that you've absorbed could have been coming from someone who's not actually embodying the energy that you're looking towards, like someone who's a little bit more, again, like easily swayed by the outside or what they see on the outside. Is like afraid to kind of look within and see what is driving them and be vulnerable and look at their own emotions. So they feel as though they need to be in this masculine energy to protect themselves, but it's not like it's not authentic. And so it's like the way they express the masculine energy can come across as like kind of controlling or manipulative. So, taking in a lot of that energy could have been part of what is like hindered you here, is like allowing someone else's allowing someone else's energy into your space. Yeah, so just even that, like the whole reading, I was doing fine, and all of a sudden, I like literally my voice just like went away for a second. That was weird. So, um, I do think that there's a lot of outside energy. There's like, it may not even be one person, but there's this heavy like energy vampire energy um, around you. There's this sense of like people, things, positions, situations around you kind of draining or siphoning your energy in order to make themselves feel like more secure. So they may not be doing it on a conscious level. So there could be like a lot of energy attacks coming your way, and then it kind of comes through like the people around you that are not centered within their own energies. Then they become open and vulnerable for these like outside more negative energies to kind of come in. And then certain people may be doing things and not even like really thinking about it or realizing what they're doing or how they're acting or like how they're making you feel, because again they like their own vulnerability. If you're not embodying your own energy, then you are kind of leaving yourself vulnerable to let like something else kind of come in and direct you, if that makes sense, or guide you. And yeah, it's all kind of based off of what's reflected around you rather than being really centered and grounded within yourself and letting your inner heart, drive, passion, desires kind of lead you in the direction that's right for you. So you've been trying to figure out how to do that and how to get to where you'd like to be or to what's right for you. And there's just, you could have just been looking up to or looking towards the wrong energy, or you could have been in this place of feeling like you need to be more secure rather than being vulnerable with yourself. So it was leading you to be led astray by outside things rather than staying true to what's inside of you. It could be both, like you were kind of looking up to someone that you perceive to be really solid and secure, and now you're kind of like seeing things more clearly, seeing them more clearly, your journey and like where you would like to go. So going back to um, a lot of outside energy has like come in and influenced you. So that could be where a lot of like this self-doubt is coming from. It's like energy that's not truly yours. It's like not truly your burden to carry or something that you need to work through. It's like something that you kind of took on based off of some sort of outside perspective or outside energy, outside influence, or something that you were like looking towards for like guidance at one point, that has like led you to go back and forth and forget how many tools and skills you have to get you to where you would like to go. Because already, like, some of the cards flipped out already, so I got them clarifying cards. So, like, the recommended action towards spirit already flipped out here, and we have the Four of Cups. So, what I'm seeing is like finding a way to shelter yourself from those energies that are not good for you or are not helping you, like all of this stuff. And spirit could also be coming in and helping to kind of put a shield and something protective around you, so this, you're not just absorbing all of this and soaking in all of this. But even with spirit helping to shield you, it's like you have to do some of the work too. And like, spirit's trying to give you something and you have to like work with it in order to keep yourself secure and clear and safe. So a part of you could be borderline kind of giving up on something within yourself. And so you're not realizing how much spirit's been trying to protect you and help shield you. Um, so it's like there's a part of you that's just like not doing what you need to do to work with spirit to get to where you would like to be? Okay, sorry about that. My cats are a little crazy. Hang on one second. We are going to come right back. Okay, I am so sorry about that. Anytime I'm doing a reading and the reading is trying to get like really deep and get into like a certain type of energy, like getting in that energy to read it, my cats can sense it and they will, yeah, like I was kind of struggling to get that whole first bit out. So it may have been hard to watch because I don't feel like I was really expressing myself and what I was seeing super well, but my cats are being very distracting. They're normally sleeping during this time of day, but there's something in the air today, I guess. I do think Venus is maybe in conjunction with Saturn right now. Mercury was just moving over the North Node in Chiron, and I just saw 111. So there's probably been a lot of chaos. If you're seeing this right now, you may have just went through just like a lot of chaos. Just had some crazy things happen the past few days, but I'm just hearing it's like low energy right now in the collective. So it's hard to like muster up the strength to keep doing what we need to be doing and keep moving forward, staying true to ourselves and our path. So, what I was saying before is like there's this part of all of us that's just very tired, and is having a hard time. There's like a part of us that is kind of almost surrendering and is just like, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So it's like allowing yourself to be affected in some way. So there's some part of you that is allowing yourself to like soak in or absorb all of this energy around you instead of truly waking up and realizing how much spirit is working with you to help kind of shelter you from this. So it's like spirit could have already showed you at some time that this is not right or this is not for you, and has kind of already been going above and beyond to help like protect you and keep you safe. But then that inner doubt or that inner anxiety can kick in, and just kind of tell us like we don't deserve the things that we want. It's unrealistic. It's never going to happen. We'll never get there. Um, it's like hard to imagine, or realize our dreams coming true at this time. There's just a very heavy, harsh energy. There's a lot of like very painful and triggering things happening kind of all about at this time. And we're moving into a lot more heavy energy. Like April is going to be a very heavy month. So being aware of, what's happening around us energetically in the cosmos can kind of help to be like, okay, there's more happening around me. Like this isn't just me. I'm not the only reason I feel like this, so you don't have to take it on so much. It's like you're not a failure. You are exactly right where you need to be, right where you need to be there, for the perfect opportunity to come to you at the perfect timing. So it's like remaining hopeful, keeping that positivity, and allowing that inner passion to continue to be like your driving force to get to where you would like to go. So it's not letting go of everything you've been building or working towards all this time. You may see other people around you kind of like swerving or falling off, not following through. And that could be very overwhelming or discouraging because you may have gotten inspiration from those people at one time. But it's like you can continue to move forward past anything within yourself, or yeah, you see other people kind of stopping and not being able to move forward. But as long as you stay true to yourself, you will be able to continue to go forward. Like, it is realistic for you, just like it was for them, but other people around you are making their own choices currently. And it's like your time to stay centered within yourself and stay true to you and to continue to move forward for what feels right for you and what's best for you. And knowing that spirit is working with you to protect you and help you. Like, the universe is on your team and on your side. Spirit has your back. So it's like you don't need to be afraid. Again, there's just more changes happening. Lots of changes and shifts all happening. So it's a lot of things that we're releasing in order to allow, again, this is more energy of letting the energy within you, what's inside you, what's true to you, to come out and to bloom. I'm hearing like you have something within yourself that's been building and growing for some time, and you're ready to release certain things in order to free that energy within you to come out and to express it and to share it and to show others. Okay, we will be right back again. Okay, I'm so sorry. So, again, Spirit is kind of giving you all the information that you need at this time. Spirit's working with you to communicate with you, give you all the signs, and show you what you need to know. But you've also worked really hard over the past few years and built a lot of like inner knowledge. So, whatever your desire is, again, you have all of the tools and all of the capability to achieve that. And the best way for you to get where you'd like to go would be to lean onto your own intuition and just do what feels right for you and guide yourself where feels right for you. With this ship, this is like your intuition here. So it's like you have a healthy balance of being able to use your intuition and your emotional side in unison to be able to come to a logical yet equally ambitious point. So you, again, like you may see other people falling off or not getting um, to where they would like to, but the difference here is you have put in a lot of like practical work and you've gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So there's so much inside of you that's like ready to come out. You just have to let yourself lead the way, if that makes sense. And the biggest thing that is stopping you from making these transitions and revealing yourself to others or to the world in a different way, in the way that you would like to or that you know that you can, is kind of clinging to the things that are falling apart and no longer working for you. Like, instead of accepting this tower moment, I just saw 222 on my camera. Oh, I almost see like angel wings with the clouds coming off. But instead of being able to just accept this and just let certain things go with grace, it's like you're having a really hard time separating yourself, letting go and removing yourself from certain things that are showing you they're not working. So it's like letting these things kind of fall off. So it's like letting everything that is dead and is no longer working just fall off and fall apart and go almost to the wayside. These look like the same girl. Um, if that makes sense, like just letting things kind of go into the rubble because it opens up a way for everything that's inside of you, everything that you've been building and growing, all the knowledge, the wisdom. It's like you have something that you can share with others in order to help them grow and overcome and be comfortable to release the things that don't work for them. So it's like you're really majorly separating from a foundation in which you relied upon. It could be like a structure in your life, a group of people, or it could be just like a person that, like I was mentioning in the beginning, that you leaned upon, relied upon, um, that you looked up to as some sort of stability, or like they helped to take care of you. Uh, it's like seeing that for what it is. There's something really coming to light or coming out, something that's really being revealed to you by spirit and is showing you exactly what has decayed and what's ready to kind of be cut out, removed, fall apart, what needs to go. But there could be just like a lot of that self-doubt. Say this is like certain family members or just your family as a whole, or just certain people that you had like a false, that you're now feeling as though you had like a false image for. It's like kind of seeing things as they are and knowing exactly what you need to do to not only protect yourself but to continue to grow moving forward could be really difficult, because then the emotional attachment that you have to this person or these group of people or this place, this area, this job, whatever it is, it all, it's like that part of you comes up and is like, I can't just leave this behind, or I can't. There's certain emotional attachment here that it's like your doubt and your insecurities come up and make you feel as though you're like a bad person, or that's like the bad thing to do, or you're like abandoning others, or you feel like other people aren't going to understand or going to perceive you very negatively. So you could be more concerned about how that will appear or how it will make you look or what other people on the outside will think, rather than doing what's best for you or what would be most fulfilling to you or what you know. It's like you have this innate wisdom to just know there's something specific that you need to do for yourself to get your own life in a place where you're going to be very content and secure and like happy that you did that in the future. It's like you already have the foresight to see something that needs to be done in order to like protect your life or to set your life up in such a way that you want it to be in the future. And if you don't do these specific things, you're not going to get there. So you're seeing like that example within someone around you. So it's like you have to go against that person or certain people in your life to do what you know is right or best for you. And it feels very uncomfortable. And as it's all kind of coming out or happening, it does feel like a tower moment in which other people are just going to see it all falling apart and not truly understanding like what's going on, your capacity to take care of yourself, where you're going. Um, it's like you don't want people to be like worried about you or to perceive you in a negative way, or to see you as like uh, unstable, if you will. But what I'm seeing here is it's like in the long run, sticking to that or clinging to that in the long run is just going to cause more instability in your life. Whereas doing what you know is best for you or is right for you, going in the direction that is most comfortable for you, is actually creating the perfect amount of vulnerability or opening you up in such a way that everything that you've been building and working on within yourself, everything that's been growing within yourself, will naturally be able to come out. So people will be able to see you in a more authentic light. So it's almost like worrying about people perceiving you as being like unstable or whatever doubts or insecurities are coming up. It's like you don't need to worry about that so much, because as things kind of fall apart and regrow, people will be able to see the true you. Like once you give yourself that space and open up that room for what you've been working on, everything you've been growing and building within yourself to come out, people will kind of see your journey more. They'll see you better. They'll see you more authentically, more clearly. You'll be like showing the world who you are, what you've been working towards. So you won't feel so alone and isolated and lonely, and like everything that you have or that you've done, that you've achieved is like just for you, or is just going to be like for a waste or go to waste. Yeah, it's like it just feels very scary and open-ended, and you feel very insecure to take the next step, even though a part of you knows exactly what you need to do. So I'm hearing it's like it gets worse before it gets better, like it gets messier before it gets better, it gets more chaotic before it gets better. But once the dust settles, there's so much within you that you've built that is already just going to be like shining. It's like you're not going to have to wait a lot of time or do all this work in order for people to see why you felt the need to make this move. It's like it's already there. It's just waiting to come out. So I'm seeing like an opening here to be able to pass through. Um, Again, this is like someone who can maybe feel kind of uncomfortable with their emotions, but there's an opening being created to be able to like pass through this. And it's where there used to be a block. So it's like you can move through this time and move into a whole new space. So I'm seeing an opening being created where there previously was not one. So that could be within yourself too. You've like opened something within yourself and became more vulnerable within yourself. And so it's like you're ready to go in a direction, like a new door is being opened by the universe, where once you're on the other side, it will be more safe for you to show up in your own energy. So um, if you're a more masculine person and you've been taught that like you can't express your emotions, you can't be vulnerable, you can't cry, it's like once you get on the other side of this or into a new space in your life, then you'll be in an environment where you are safe to express yourself in that way, or just embody your full self without any judgment. So you don't have to get into like another energy in order to be accepted. So before there was just a major block and you weren't able to move in that direction. So a new door in some ways being opened by spirit, a new opening, a new opportunity that wasn't there before. So that's why it's safe to take some sort of leap or take some sort of risk at this time, whereas in the past it maybe wasn't. So it's like you could have learned something in the past, like, this doesn't work for me or this isn't a good idea. So that insecurity or that doubt comes up. But spirit is saying there's something different this time. Oops. So this card just fell on the floor and landed in the reverse. So it could be people around you too, like arguing with you. And some of you could literally have like people telling you, like, that's not realistic. You can't do that. Like, you have to do this in order to be secure. You can't pursue like a more artistic. I just saw 1221. Just trying to make you feel like you have to take this more secure, safe route, and you feel as though if you go your own way, people are just going to see you as this unstable person. But it's like your art and what you've been building is just waiting to explode out of you. So once you get on the other side, it's just going to be security in a different way, like safe to be your true and authentic self, which will then bring out this whole other side to you, which will open up your life in a whole different way than it's never been before, right? Opening up all sorts of new opportunities. Just like not being scared to make these changes, release certain things, make a jump, not being scared to let go of certain things, certain places, and certain people in your life at this time, like certain relationships that you've had up until this point. You can't be scared to let certain things fall apart or go to the wayside. You have to make that space for the people in your life that are going to accept you for you, where you're going to have that safety, that emotional safety around others to express your true self, to be your true self. So, what I'm seeing here is like the more you try and kind of dig in and understand like the people around you's thought process, like the more you try and understand why other people are the way that they are and why they're doing the things that they're doing, it's just like blocking you or hindering you, or it's getting you caught up in those negative loops, those negative thought patterns where you just kind of get into this place where there's like no end. It's like you'll never have that secret or that key understanding of why certain people make the choices that they do, or why certain people treat you the way they do, or why certain people will switch up. And I'm hearing like you could just be having conversations with people around you, and then they'll randomly just argue with you about things that don't even make sense. Or it's like other people just feel the need to like convince you to like think like them, or you could have very like controlling and pushy people who will very like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean, very much so like push their energy onto you. And so instead of trying to sit there and like understand that energy and how to work through it, it's just keeping you caught up in this loop, in this pattern that's not you. Like it's not your energy to take on. So the best thing to do is to just release that from you, or to find a way to protect yourself from it, to stop you stop you from taking that on, or from other people from having that access to you in that way, to be able to push their own energy and their own thought processes onto you. Because other people could be dealing with, like, we're going through so much uncomfortable and heavy energy around us. It's like sometimes people don't know how to handle that or how to deal with that. And so, like, when they don't know how to handle their own emotions or deal with their own energy, then they push it onto someone else and they project. If I just saw 1551, they project what they're going through onto others. And so it's not yours to take on. It's not something for you to sit there and like work through and try and figure out. And is that could be a big thing, is like anything that you've had, like we can see here with you that like you have went through so much, and you've spent a lot of time like working through your stuff and going within yourself and figuring out why you felt the way you did, or how to like make certain changes and adjustments. And you've planted a lot of really positive seeds, and those seeds have like taken root, and you've really grown in a lot of ways over the last few years. And so your first reaction whenever people do this or fight with you or cause arguments or push energy onto you, like your first reaction could be to like really try to understand it or process it, or be like, okay, is that me? But a lot of that is then you're what's happening is you're kind of like taking that energy on and letting it, even though you're not fully letting it like consume you, there's like a part of you that's still leaving yourself vulnerable as you're going through that process of trying to like think through it and like understand it. So there's some things that you're going to need to just like release and let go of without having that understanding or having that closure. Or sometimes we just want to know, like, why did people do things they did? Why did they treat us the way that they did? Like, what was happening? But like I said in the very beginning, a lot of times when people are in like an opposite energy because they feel like that's what they need to do in order to be secure or feel safe, what they're doing is they're leaving themselves vulnerable for other energetic like entities, if you will, to come in and embody them or to work through them to carry out their own agendas. So there's a lot of negative energy just in the universe that wants to leave us stuck and leave us kind of like unfulfilled, leave us not able to do the things that we're meant to do in this lifetime. And that's just a part of how our universe works. We have a strong spiritual team helping us out, and there's also just a lot of negative energy floating out in the abyss that wants to like attach on to others or glom onto others or just siphon others, drain others' energy. And we're dealing with it all the time in our society. We have all these systems around us built to like siphon our energy and drain our energy already. So there's so many things, like the people around us are vulnerable to so many things, and they're going through so many things within themselves. Like you'll never fully know everything that the people around you are going through. You'll never fully understand the people around you or others or why they're doing certain things. But it's not our job to like fully understand that or to take that on or to fix others. It's like the only person that we can truly understand and change and work on and do all these things, heal, is ourselves. So it's best to really focus on ourselves. It's kind of funny in our society though, like if you are really focused on yourself, you're considered self-absorbed, but it's actually more healthy to focus on yourself. Whereas it can seem, I just saw 1919, it can seem really great to want to focus on others and help others, but sometimes we're just using that as like a distraction so that we're not really tuning into ourselves and drawing into ourselves and assessing, working on what we need to work on within ourselves, right? And so we can get really caught up in that, or like helping others makes us feel like we're helping ourselves when in reality we're not. We're avoiding our own issues. So it's just kind of like another way to be avoidant. So it's just kind of interesting. I saw 2002, but it's kind of interesting that our society has that. It's just a little bit, or like if you really love yourself, then you're considered to be like full of yourself, but it's actually very healthy to have a strong sense of self and a strong love for yourself and to want to put yourself first and all of these things. It's really healthy, and it's actually not healthy to be very codependent on others or to be like loving someone else more than ourselves. All these things that are very accepted in our society, it's actually kind of unhealthy. So I do think that if you're still watching this, you could be dealing with some energy like that. 'Cause my cat was like rubbing his face on the camera, on the tripod when I was saying that. So there could be like someone in your life that would not want you to hear that or to like reaffirm that within you. But here he goes. Spirit wanted you to hear that today. So with the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, already what I saw from the very beginning is like the direction that you are going in at this time is being more open. Like, oh, hey buddy, come here, come here, come here, come on. Okay, so the direction that you are heading in is being more open, not being so closed off. You could have closed yourself off out of safety, right, in order to feel secure that people couldn't take advantage of you, or out of just like other people's influence kind of telling you that that is how to protect yourself or to remain really secure. But even with all of these locks up and being so, boarded up and closed off, you're still open to like negative entities or spirits, or negative energy coming in and like affecting you and influencing you. So it's like starting to realize that being so withholding in ways isn't actually protecting you in the ways that you need or getting you to where you would like to go. Here, buddy, come here. Come on. Buddy, come here. So, with the Hierophant here, what I'm seeing is, if you're still watching this, thank you. I really appreciate it. This one was really, really, really hard to get through. This is one of the hardest readings I've ever done. Just because, like, I don't know, the entire time my cats were like, I don't know, it's just really, they were just doing these specific little things. My male cat threw up, like, sort of really intense. I just feel this really intense energy too. Like, it's just really hard for me to see. Like, everything is very muddied, and it's like everything's very cloudy and diluted all around. Like, the message is there, but it's very, very, imagine if you're trying to read a piece of paper and it's been like out in the rain and it's super foggy outside and it's kind of dark and all of the words are like really smudged, and you're trying to like read it, and there's like children running and screaming all around, and there's like a train, and there's like some wild animal eating another animal right next to you. Like, that's how I feel right now trying to get this reading out. Like, typically things come through like in my brain on um some, it's called like a reading screen, I guess, but it's just like a part of your brain. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like you just get this information and you just kind of read it and like digest it, or interpret it. You just find the message, if you will. But a lot of times the actual words that spirit wants me to say will literally show up, like almost as if they're showing up on a screen. So I'll say that, or I'll find a way to interpret that, or I'll say exactly what's there if it's clear. But there, it was not very clear this whole time. Like, what I'm trying to see, the lens I'm trying to see through, is just very like foggy, diluted. It's just very like, looks like someone's been showering in there for 4 days. I don't know how to, it's just very like foggy and nothing is very clear. So you could feel like that. Like, it's just wherever you're at in your life right now, there's a lot like disillusioning you or like clouding your perspective. So you're not seeing things in the same light that you once did, or it's like you don't have the same like blind confidence that you did, or maybe you don't have the same connection to spirit, or there's something that's almost like energetically hindering you from being able to see super clearly. So it's like at this time, the best and most safe way for you to move forward is to just fall back on your intuition rather than trying to go into your mind and really break down and have this like solid understanding. Like, you're not going to gain this clear, solid understanding and perspective. You're not going to like get to the root of it and like get the secret of like what's going on, because there is just a lot of chaotic energy. There's a lot of confusion. Um, buddy, hey, come here, come here. So, spirit wants you to kind of just find a way to protect yourself and hang on to what's true to you or what you've known, rather than looking at things how they are right now and trying to find a way to figure it out, or to, because you're just going to get deeper and deeper into like a rabbit hole of like where you don't want to be, and there's like negative energies around you that want you to be like stuck and not be able to see clearly, not be able to like move forward on your own. So there's certain things that you want to just like let go of and not even try and understand or hang on one second. So sorry about that. My cat jumped up here as soon as I did that. So the main message today is don't stop. Don't stop where you are. Don't give up. Don't let what you're seeing around you right now discourage you. Don't stop where you are. Don't let like things from the outside influence you and impact you, because you're getting to a place where you're going to be able to see things more clearly again, and you're going to get back to yourself. You're going to feel more like yourself. And the only way to get there is to trust in yourself and rely on yourself and do whatever is being shown to you, like allowing spirit to guide you and get you there. So yeah, it's like trusting in spirit to get you there, because you're getting to a place where things are going to where things are going to make sense again. And it's just like this reading, like how no matter what has came up, no matter how many times I've had to stop this and get back into meditation and start over, probably like 3 or 4 at least, I didn't give up on getting to the end of the reading, right? And continuing forward. It's not perfect because all this stuff happened, and I really, really wish that I could just sit down in a quiet room, and not have my cats in there and get deep into meditation and just do really deep readings without any interruption like I could when I first started my channel, but I can't, right? And so I just have to work with it and do the best I can and still keep going and just, when I can, do what I can and do the best that I can under my circumstances, and just be okay with that and know that, I'm going to get into a place in my life where I can do more energy work um, without it being so chaotic, and just have to continue to trust spirit to get me there, right? And I can't get super closed off and bitter and upset and just give up on my journey, because I still have something in my heart that um, spirit would like me to do, and I still have the tools and the capabilities to get where I would like to go. And so I have to kind of fall back on my journey, my wisdom, how I've built up to this point, right? And know that I'm being guided and there is an end goal. Like I believe that there's a place for me, right? And spirit has a plan. So that's kind of what I'm going through right now and how this resonates with me. So that might translate for anyone viewing it as well. It's just like, don't give up. Like, no matter how many times you have to like reassess or sit there and take some deep breaths and push things to the side and just keep moving forward. It's like you'll get to a place where it's safe to like relax again and start to unpack and, mentally work through things without it just like hindering you and bogging you down and getting you stuck in a place that you don't want to be and you don't need to be in. But you will get to that place in your life where it's safe to let others in again and to like be your true self and express your true self and share that part of you with others. So there could be like a specific relationship for some people, like someone specific that spirit is leading you towards or would like you to meet. Um, or this could be yourself, like coming back into a connection with yourself. Or I'm seeing is like a new spiritual teacher. Or like you could, like, once you get to this place and you meet more like-minded people and it feels safe to be open again, there could be like more study, more school, like you could level up. And like whatever it is, whatever your passion or your drive is, you could like go back to school, get a second degree, just like level up your education in some way. Um, I'm also seeing it's like you're no longer going to have to be overly dependent and completely rely upon yourself. Like there'll be someone else or something else that you can like look up to. There will be like a teacher, or it's like obviously you haven't done all the growing that you're going to do. You don't know everything. You're not just going to like plateau at this point forever. Like there may be more study, more education, um, more levels for you to reach once you get into like a safe place where you feel safe to openly, authentically express your true self again. There could be more opportunities for you to grow and learn. Oh. So, yeah, remain open. It's like there could be a lot more for you to learn, but it's not necessarily going to be right where you're at. So, for spirit is just saying, don't stop, because you are going to get to the next level, and then it will make sense. Like there'll be more for you to learn and observe in your path of interest that you've already invested so much time and energy and growth into. And you've come a lot farther than you realize, and you have a lot more capability within yourself than you realize. So once you get to that place, like the next level, you're going to be so shocked that that's the next level. Like you don't feel as though you're ready or prepared for what is actually coming towards you. So expect the unexpected and stay very open minded. Like once you get where you want to be, you're going to be very shocked. And like a part of you is going to be like, wow, I can't even believe that this is my reality or this is the opportunity in front of me. But another part of you always knew that you could get to that place. And that's why you were kind of at war with yourself whenever things didn't necessarily feel right. So there's a reason for the season and everything that you're going through, and it's going to get you into a more safe, comfortable environment, more connected with more like minded people. Spirit has you like on a journey, right? And you've never been like forgotten about. Spirit is working with you more than you realize at this time. So definitely the main message here is just keep going, keep moving forward. Don't give up with all this craziness, especially in April. There's going to be some really chaotic. We're already kind of moving in that direction now, but yeah, if you're watching this in April or around April or right after April, uh, or in the future, if it's just another tough time and this happened to come across your feed, um, there's more happening around you than what you can see. But yeah, there's a goal and a purpose that you're moving towards. So trust yourself and trust spirit, to be there with you and to guide you, and keep on moving, keep on pushing, keep going. You're doing way better than you think, and you realize you're doing so much more than you realize. You're so much more impactful. You've done so much more work on yourself than you can see. Um, yeah, you're just such a more beautiful all around individual than you can see right now. So, yeah, Spirit just wants to throw that in, compliment you, encourage you. on your journey. If you watched this far, I really, really, really appreciate it so much. And I hope that you have a great day.